night, singing in the dead of
You
night.
have to pull that out. This one is a cooked one, so we're going to taste this one. The first thing, it is the cheapest way to go because chickens are cheap, cheap, cheap when they're on sale. And so you can fix a really great yummy meal for hardly anything. So I usually pick them up when they're maybe 69 cents a pound or something, and I stick them in my freezer. And then I use them. But these are nice and fresh for you. I didn't get them out of my freezer. The first thing you do is you get a paper towel and get a little bit wet and wring it out and just wipe your chicken down. Don't get it all wet under the faucet. Just wipe it down. Now, I like to get everything ready before I start because I have to have one clean hand and one dirty hand. So the first thing you do is you don't have to use olive oil if you don't have it. Vegetable oil works just fine, but I like to use olive oil a lot in cooking, so that's what I use. As I took this chicken and I cut out, or just pulled out, some of the extra fat that's on the inside of there, took it out. The next thing is you take all your gizzards out and the neck, and I put it in a separate pot and boil it because I made you some rice too. So I make my own broth for the rice out of that. I'm not a real gizzard lover, and so they just get tossed after I make the broth. And you just put as much water as you're going to be using for how much rice you're going to be making. It's 2 to 1, so you have 2 cups of liquid per 1 cup of rice. And so that's what I do. And the other thing too about rice making is always taste your broth first, and if your broth tastes great, your rice will taste great. And then you just put your rice in and cook it for 20 minutes, turn it up to a boil, turn it down to the lowest flame, and then for 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes till the water's absorbed, and there you have it. So I try to use everything with the chicken, so that's why I make rice with it. With the turkey, if you don't want to make rice, I still use the gizzards and neck, and I'll boil it up and use it to make gravy when I do the turkey. It just gives it a really great flavor, and broth to make gravy is really great anyway, and I just make my own so I don't have to throw that out. Okay, so everything's been taken out. All the extra fat has been taken out. So the first thing you do is we're going to just grease this little puppy up. So this will be my dirty hand, here's my clean hand. So I just pour the oil in my hand and you just rub it. It's kind of fun. The next thing you do is you just salt it. And so I'm just going to, and you get inside that wing and on the outside of that wing. Okay. Then I like to put, I have some regular pepper and some ground pepper, and you just rub that in like just a special rub. Get it everywhere, inside. If I brought enough, yep, barely. So now we have this blackened bird. Now for the spices, you can use anything you want, anything that you like. This particular one, I'm using thyme. But even just a bird with salt and pepper is really yummy. And so I just spread all this on. I'll throw a little bit inside because I have something else I'm putting on the inside. Okay, so now we have that done. Now, I like to put lemons and garlic on the inside. Half of a lemon and 2 cloves of garlic, and you just stuff them in there. Now I used lemon in the rice so that they tie in together. So after we do that, the next thing you want to do, now both of my hands are going to get dirty. It's inevitable, but you take some kitchen string and you're going to truss the bird. I'm going to pull the drumsticks together and just tie it. And that's done. And then you take the wings and tuck them under the body. That's so the tips don't burn. And that's it. All it is. And you stick it in the oven at 400 for about an hour. Just kind of look at it, and it comes out looking like that. So at the end, when you take the bird out, put some tin foil over it and let it rest for about 15 minutes. And the juices all go back in, so when you cut it, it doesn't drain all over the place.
Kim, would you put lemon in a turkey as well?
You can. When I do a turkey, my son-in-law waits all year for Thanksgiving for the turkey. He talks about it all year. And so what I do with my turkey that's a little different than a chicken is I'll take the skin and just put pads of butter on top, under the skin. Don't break the skin. You just put your hand in there and just kind of break the membrane that's next between the skin and the meat. And I'll put it in the thighs, or the drumsticks here, and in the breast, and with little slivers of garlic, along with the butter. And then you can put, I just usually put salt and pepper. I don't really do anything fancy with spices. But if you want to put lemon, you can tie a bundle, like some thyme, a thyme bundle with some rosemary, you know, fresh, and just stick it in your turkey if you want, if you don't want to stuff it. And the difference between stuffing and dressing, stuffing is when it goes in, dressing is when it's cooked outside of the bird. So now you know what the difference is. Anyway, then you just stick this in the oven and you're done. And I don't want to touch this bird with this hand. But anyway, so when we're ready, I will cut this and we will try some and see if you like it. So, any questions?
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arrive.